Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this video. I'm Sister Tracy. I was reading in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 10. Let us read it. But we beg you, brothers, to know those who labor among you and are over you in the Lord and admonishes you, and to respect and honor them in love for their work's sake. This passage has got me to thinking, who is this woman always on Facebook talking about, oh, be in good courage, Abba Father will make a way of escape for you, or be in good courage, Abba Father's got your back? Well, I would like to take this time out to let you know a little bit more about me. Excuse me. In the year 1999, my first lump was found in my breast. Excuse me. So women, I have to take this time to do a PSA and let you know, please, it's very important to go get your yearly mammogram. Well, up from 1999 to 2013, they have all been benign. I've had a removal of one, and the rest were benign. Well, yesterday I went for my 6 months checkup, and I didn't get so good of news. So I thought to myself, this will be a good time to let you know, while I yet have time, of who is encouraging you. So I want to read you a few chapters of my life, if you don't mind. So sit back, relax, if you got a few minutes, because it's going to take a few minutes. For those who know me, I'm long-winded. And I pray that my story will show you, through it all, Abba Father has you. Let us begin. My story is called Abba Father's Little Girl. The storm raged in my life before I was born. The violent wind divided my family, as two young teenagers fell in love and created two other lives before my arrival. The young teenager's mother suffered postpartum blues after having her second child. With every cry of her newborn baby, it was like lightning striking the young teenager mother. She couldn't take the storm anymore, so she gave the newborn baby to a woman who could provide more for her. I can only imagine how our older sister felt at the age of 1 year old, watching her baby sister leave her life. A year later, I was born. The violent wind attacked again. Our father was no longer there. Now, this young teenage mother had two daughters with her as she traveled to and fro as if the violent wind took control. At the age of 6 months old, the violent storm decided to turn its attention to me. My mother was told by the doctors that I had severe pigeon toed. This is when the foot tends to resemble a kidney and is turned inward, curved at the edge of the feet. The doctors prescribed braces and special shoes for me to help manipulate the bones into growing straight. This condition could not clear up on its own. She was told if those braces and special shoes didn't work, I would require a series of plastic casting. My mom held on strong during this storm, not knowing that another one was brewing against me right around the corner. As she struggled to take care of us, she placed us in the care of a daycare provider. After completing her shift at Kmart, she arrived at the daycare provider home to pick up me, my older sister, and I. As she reached down to pick me up, her eyes came across the bruises that were on my body. See, Prior to her arrival, the daycare provider struck me multiple times, leaving multiple bruises all over my body. That same day, my mama quit her job and we traveled from Long Beach, California to Columbus, Missouri to live with her father and her stepmother. Well, let's fast forward in time. I was around about 4 years old, not yet able to see over the kitchen counter. I was standing at the corner of the kitchen counter, and beyond that counter, I heard my mother and my stepfather's voices sounding like the thunderstorm. The voices rumbled like the thunder that traveled across the sky. The climax of a boom sound came, like when lightning strikes the ground. Should I look? Should I look around the corner? I thought to myself, not yet. The storm wasn't over. Suddenly, a sound like metal striking something. Here comes the lightning, I thought to myself. A small drop of wetness hit my face. That's strange. Rain isn't red. Then there was silence. The storm is over. I can move now. As I turned the corner, my legs frozen. My eyes was puzzled by what I saw. My mom was laying on the floor with the same raindrops. The red raindrops that fell on my face surrounded her like a puddle. The dark as midnight man, which was my stepfather, was breathing hard as if he just ran a race. He slowly lowered his black cast iron-like hand and he took a few steps to exit the kitchen. But before he took another step, he told my mom, "Now do what I said and clean up this mess you made." Then he continued to exit the kitchen. When he left the kitchen, my legs were free. It was as if he was a magnet. And when he left, it released my legs from being frozen. I ran to my mom, and as I got close to her, she whispered to me, "It will be okay, baby. God's got me." Her voice was filled with such peace and full of such confidence and sadness at the same time. My mother grasped me tight, the tightest she's ever held me. She whispered into my ears again, "Don't you ever forget, God's got you too. Now go play." As I began to exit the kitchen to go do what she said, I took one more glance back at her. My mom slowly got up from the floor and began to clean up the red puddle. The last memory I have as a child of my mother is when I was taken away to a place where it was supposed to be safe. The pounding of my heart woke me up again at 3 a.m. I tried to wash away what has happened in my dreams as I washed my face, but the images were embedded in my mind. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to run. It was as if I was a young child again and having no control of what someone could do to me. It was as if I was being torn apart again by the men who were supposed to protect and love me. When will the raping of my mind stop? When will this pain go away? Even though Abba Father has allowed me to no longer be in those men's presence, those men that had betrayed me, their presence haunt me every time I close my eyes. Every time a man says, "Oh, you are so beautiful." every time I hear, I should make you mine. Who will I be without this pain? Without these memories? Who have I become because of these pains and memories? The first memory of betrayal I remember is laying on a roll-up bed at my aunt's house. I was awakened by my uncle who was licking my private place. It felt so strange. Inside I screamed, but nothing came out. As I remember him saying, "Don't you tell anyone. I will hurt your whole family." With him saying this, my mind flashed back to the early memories of my stepfather violently hurting my mom. So I laid there. Trying not to feel. Suddenly a rush of fluid rushed from my private area, squirting everywhere. This must have pleased him because he stopped. I didn't understand what just happened to me. I curled up in a ball and cried myself to sleep, hoping that someone would come and save me. No one came. I learned how to avoid going over my aunt's house, but that did not stop the betrayal. As I clung to another uncle, wanting the security of a man, I was betrayed again. I didn't recognize it when it began. It was different this time than the first betrayal. I remember his strong arms picking me up to give me a hug. While holding me, he laid down on the couch with me on top of him. He began to slide me up and down and up and down on his private area. Oh no, there's that feeling again. Should I scream? There's no one here to hear me. Will he hurt my family? Will he hurt me? I can't take that chance. So I keep quiet and allow him to do what he wanted to do to me. I felt a stream of fluid coming from him, and he stopped. Oh, it was over. So I thought. He kissed me ever so gently and said, "I want to give to you what you gave to me, and how you please me, I want to please you." He laid me back down on the couch and began to lick my private areas. Here we go again. All I kept thinking was, please, please, please let the fluid come quickly from my private area so this can stop, so I can run, so I can hide. These two betrayals have formed the woman that I became. I accept betrayal. It became a norm for me. Every man that I met was, in some type of way, abusive. It was normal, so I thought. I seemed to attract only these men. I thought to myself, I know how to handle them. I'll give them what they want. I learned how to fake like I enjoyed what they did to me. I learned how to talk, oh, daddy, please, more. This would go on until they get tired of me and leave or get caught with another woman. I wanted to know what Abba Father sees in me. I wanted to know because I know I am more than what I appear to be. I can't wait until that woman in me comes forth so I can finally be free. Free from what? Let's go back in time. I was married for my first time at the age of, I believe it was 15 or through 17, somewhere during that time frame. My first husband was very kind in the beginning. He was my hero without even him knowing it. He took me away from the betrayals of my uncles. I was so careful to make sure that his dinner was done when he got home. He had a hot bath, water ran as soon as he walked into the door. Even all those things did not keep him. His eyes wandered to my best friend. I knew it, but I still stayed and kept it a secret within. He moved us to his hometown in New Haven, Connecticut. There I found out how young-minded I was. I was in high school still, therefore I didn't see all the street activities he was involved with. I had no idea of how the street works, but soon I was to learn. How can a street man, love this little bitty church girl like me and stay faithful? There was no way. There was no way. And I was soon to find out. One day, while I was at school, an overwhelming feeling of longing for my husband came over me. Tears began to flood my soul and pull out of my eyes. I didn't understand why I was crying, but I was soon to find out why. I ran to the principal's office requesting to leave school. I just knew I had to be at home. I just knew I had to see my husband. I ran 15 blocks without stopping as tears streamed down my face. I reached my front door. My hands began to shake as I reached for the doorknob. I could control it enough to open the door. I took 5 steps to reach the staircase. My hands up reached the rail, and then my legs wouldn't move. What is wrong with me? I thought to myself. As I got my legs to move, I slowly walked up the stairs, sure enough of what I would find. Not sure at all. I reached the top of the stairs and turned towards my room door. It was closed. The door seam was not filled, leaving a crack that allowed me to see into the room. My eyes followed the seams of the crack, and what I saw made me fall to my knees. The brown skin of my husband was combined with the caramel legs of a woman, curved around his strong, muscular back. My first thought was, why? Why? What did I do wrong? That the man that saved me is looking for comfort in another woman. The next thing was pain, and I didn't want to feel it. So I ran to my mother-in-law's bedroom to retrieve the revolver that was hidden under the bed. The noise of the boxes being moved alerted my husband. He ran to the room. Sweet smell of sweat trailed him. He laid his wet body on mine, grasping for my arms, while whispering in my ears, "I'm sorry, baby girl. I'm so sorry." In the background, I heard her say, "I didn't know he was married." The pain in her voice snapped me back into reality. I stopped struggling for the revolver that was hidden under the bed. "Just take her home. Just take her home," I cried. I got to my feet and made my way down the hallway where she stood in shock. With tears in my eyes, I told her, "I forgive you." I looked at my husband and said, "There is no more pain anyone ever can do to me. You and my uncles, you have done it all." I kissed his lips and went into my brother-in-law's room and closed the door. I cried out, "Abba Father, why me? All I wanted was someone to love me and to be able to give love back." I told Abba Father, "I don't want to feel anymore. No more pain, no more disappointment, no more, no more, no more." I reached for the bottle of pills and I took every one of them. I remember hearing my mother-in-law's voice saying, "What happened? What did you do to this baby?" I woke up in the hospital. I called my grandfather and I asked him if I can come back home. Home. The place where the betrayals began. The place where I was supposed to be safe. The place where I cried, "Abba Father, protect me and never leave me again." That is part of my story. And that's what I can say, even to this day, though you have not heard the rest of my chapters, that Abba Father will never leave you nor forsake you. He will be there when it seems there's no way of an escape. So when I say, be encouraged, God's got you, I mean it, because I know it. I hope you enjoyed my story, and I hope it encouraged you. Be blessed, and know that I love you to life.